Fishin Affliction. Hello.
Rise and shine. It's Fishin Affliction time for those who got it bad.
Well, Mom and Dad's grab the kids, it's time for the fishing show. Me and old Rusty's gonna go catch them down at the fishing hole. Well, you better stick around, cause you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Grab your hats, grab your baits, and don't forget your poles. We're gonna fire up that old Ranger boat and head to the fishing hole. We're gonna try to catch a biggin', yeah, that's what we're wishing. Cause me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Yeah, me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Yeah. Man, and we've got it bad.
I've got that fishing affliction.
Just like me. Here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here.
You ready to catch him?
Rise and shine. It's Fishin Affliction time, and thank you for tuning in this morning. This is your old pal Matthew Gillen, the voice of Fishin Affliction, here at the HD Studios. And this morning, in honor of the many veterans of this great nation and the great state of Tennessee, a very special show with some of America's true heroes, as we proudly present a return visit with the Trout Warriors. Check out our website and our exclusive online store, FishinAffliction.com. Coming up, featured Team Fishin Affliction Facebook Friend of the Week, and a very, very special announcement. Sit back and relax and enjoy the tribute to the Trout Warriors on Fishin Affliction TV.
I'm on my way to an iconic place called the Bait Shop in Hendersonville, Tennessee, to go meet with the Trout Warriors this morning time. So sit back and enjoy this show with these wonderful men. Well, folks, the Bait Shop in Hendersonville, Tennessee is the base home for the Trout Warriors. And through these doors, more stories have been told, more laughter has been heard, and it's a great meeting place for these men. And when you walk in, you're guaranteed to get a hello and a smile from some friendly faces.
What'd you say, Dan? So I figure if I wear a ripped out shirt, I'll get a shirt. You love it. Morning, Dan. Morning, Dan. Yes, sir.
And this here is Mr. Mark Ugly, the owner of the Bait Shop, a little bit camera shy, but absolutely one of the smartest gentlemen that I've ever met when it comes to the outdoors. And just about every morning, you can find most of the Trout Warriors sitting around the table telling some incredible stories. Stories that'll humble you when you realize that these men are true American heroes. Their dedication, loyalty, bravery, and courage, along with their service to our country, has provided the foundation of the freedoms that we enjoy. And I'm proud to present to you the Trout Warriors.
George Hook, Army, Korea.
John Yambrick, Army, Korea, 1950-51. Ed Lane, World War II, 82nd Airborne Division. Jerry Fisher, Army, Vietnam.
You are one of the Trout Warriors.
Yes.
You're one of the founding Trout Warriors.
Well, I don't know about founding. I was one of the first ones, yes.
Now, you are the second oldest?
Yes.
Okay, and the first oldest is a gentleman we'll meet a little bit later. Mr. Coots.
Mr. Coot, yeah.
We'll meet him down at Shelby Park?
Probably meet him today at Shelby Park. He is 92 right now.
92?
Yeah.
And you just turned 29?
Yeah, 39. 39 in Holden.
How old are you, Ed?
86.
86 years young.
Yeah.
That's great. Now tell me a little bit about the war that you served in. You served in World War II.
Well, there's not a whole bunch to say except that I went in when I was 17 years old, went through basic training, went through parachute school, went through 18 months of training, and then went to Ireland for 6 months, and then to England, and then into France, and then back home. And that's about the story.
What year did you get back home?
44.
44. And home was here in Tennessee?
Right. I was born and raised in Nashville.
Okay.
And I was one of the very fortunate ones. I got in and got hit and got out early.
So you're a wounded
back home.
You're a wounded veteran.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a disabled veteran.
Okay.
Some of them didn't get back.
Absolutely.
And I'm one of the fortunate ones that did.
Absolutely.
And that's the way you got to look at it.
Now, tell me about chasing these trout. The state of Tennessee releases trout every year during this time of the year.
Yes, this is one, I think, for us old people or poor people, it gives us a chance to go catch trout that we would not have a chance to do because to go trout fishing, you think going out west somewhere, and we don't have the time or the money to be able to fly out to trout fish and come back. And this gives poor people and us old folks a chance to catch trout and enjoy eating them, which I do. You can bake them, broil them, fry them, any way you want to cook them, they're delicious. And that's what I like about the program. And I think the TWRA should be commended for starting this program several years ago. And that's my feelings on the whole thing.
Now today we'll have, how many folks will be down there fishing today?
Well, it could be anywhere from 10 to 100.
Okay.
It's according to how the weather affects older people. Of course, the three of us, the four of us, like Walter and myself and George and John, the weather don't bother us too much because we put on enough clothes to stay warm.
You're tough.
So it works out pretty good.
Now, will there be a friendly competition amongst the men that are going today?
Well, there's always a friendly competition between me and George and John. Whoever gets the first fish or whoever gets to the limit first and all this, you know.
Well, I want you to tell me right now, I want you to go on record. Who's going to catch the most fish today?
I am.
Who's going to catch the first one?
I am.
Well, I guess we're going to see about that. Well, folks, spending some time with a true American hero, Mr. Ed Lane, and the Trout Warriors. And in a few moments, we're going to meet up with the rest of the Trout Warriors and hear their stories here in the wilds of the bait shop. Folks, speaking of in the wilds, let's go see some pictures from this week's
In the Wild.
Well, folks, the ultimate sportsman, Mr. Jim Summers, gave us some great pictures this week for In the Wild from the Percy Priest Hybrid and Striper Club tournament that they enjoyed out there on Percy Priest Lake. And the guys had an absolute great time, and we're going to have those tournament results for you just in a few moments on the tournament trail. And folks, look at this great picture that Jim took. That's the sun burning through the fog right before the fish started biting out there on Percy Priest. Folks, you can send your pictures to pics@fishandaffliction.com, and be sure to visit the picture galleries there at fishandaffliction.com, and maybe you'll see your pictures right here on the big screen.
In the Wild. Your pictures in the wild.
You know, some of the first spinner baits that I ever threw growing up in Michigan had painted blades on them. The new Strike King Tour Grade painted blade spinner baits, they have that supernatural look. I mean, when you look at the sexy shad color going through the water, it looks like a school of sexy shad.
It's not just a white blade, it's not just a chartreuse blade, it's a, you know, it's got the natural bait fish look.
When we say Tour Grade, when you pull it out of the package, it's ready to go. It's got every possible component at its very top-notch best.
Smyrna Ready Mix is an established company that handles business daily with integrity and professionalism. Whether you're a general contractor, professional builder, or a do-it-yourself homeowner, SRM has your concrete solutions. With several convenient locations in the Middle Tennessee area to serve you, the only call you need to make is to SRM, ready to serve you with integrity and professionalism.
Floating trash and debris can detract from the beauty of our lakes and rivers. It can also hurt the environment by degrading the health and habitat of our native fish and wildlife.
Research has shown that it takes nearly 500 years for an aluminum can to decompose in the environment, and it takes over 1 million years for styrofoam, plastic bottles, and glass to completely break down.
Help keep our lakes and rivers free of trash and debris by either recycling or throwing your trash away in a receptacle.
Tournament Trail for those who've got it bad. Brought to you by SRM, Smyrna Ready Mix, serving you with professionalism and integrity.
Well, folks, here's the tournament trail results for the Percy Priest Hybrid and Striper Club for their tournament held on Percy Priest Lake on the 22nd of October. Now, folks, this is a 2-fish limit. First place went to the team of Alan, Schneider, Elliott, and Summers with 11.20 pounds. Second place with 3.85 pounds, the team of Paul Qualls and Dan Broadway. Third place with 3.40 pounds, the team of Herbert Odom and Mike Chastain, and the big fish was 5.85 pounds, caught by Alan, Schneider, Elliott, and Summers. Congratulations to everyone who participated, and thanks to SRM for sponsoring the tournament trail. And now, back to Fishin Affliction. Folks, welcome back to Fishin Affliction, and this segment of the show is brought to you by Clark Marine down in Franklin, Tennessee. They offer the very best of Ranger boats, Triton boats, Sea Arcs, Express aluminum boats, Sea Rays, and Veranda pontoon boats. And folks, they have been serving you with excellence for over 30 years. For all your boating needs, be sure to see Stuart and the award-winning team of Clark Marine and check out their incredible interactive website at clarkmarine.com down in Franklin, Tennessee. Well, folks, welcome back to Fishin Affliction, and let's continue meeting the Trout Warriors. Now, George, are you an original Trout Warrior?
Original Trout Warrior.
You are?
Yes. Okay,
well, tell me a little bit about the years of your service and the war that you were in.
Well, I was in a reserve unit, and when the Korean War broke out, we were the first in the country to be federalized by the federal government.
Okay.
I was in military police, and of course we went to Fort Meade, Maryland, and I'd already served in the reserve for over 2 years, so we were cadre at Fort Meade. At that time, SHAPE headquarters, Supreme Allied Power of Europe, was organized over in Paris, and they needed some men to be on Eisenhower's honor guard. Well, out of the 760 something, 27 men went, and I was one of them.
You were one of them.
But I did go in, served my time, and did what I was supposed to, took care of Ike.
And tell me a little bit about this whole Trout Warrior deal. I mean, it got started several years back. You guys go chase these trout that the state of Tennessee will release.
Well, I started with that. John and Ed was already trout fishing a lot in Coot. And then I come down here to shop one day, and of course I know Ed Lane over 50 years.
Okay.
He said, go to Percy Priest with us. And I said, well, I don't know anything about no trout. So we went out there, and of course I had a real good time. I didn't catch, I caught my limit after Ed gave me a little instruction. Did real good. And he limped it, and I did too.
Did he give you that instruction after you weren't catching anything?
Yeah, oh yeah, he told me how. And I mean, I can thank him for helping me like that.
So today, Ed has gone on record saying that he's going to catch the first one and all of them.
Well, you know, you was talking about a little feud a while ago. I wouldn't say that.
You could just add a little fuel to the fire, didn't you?
Well, it'll be some competition out there, hard competition. I mean, it'll be real the spinning and the carrying on. We really don't need all the warm clothes on.
John, I've been knowing you a long time, and just good to spend some time with you today.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the war and your service that you served.
Okay. I joined the Army when I was 17 years old. 3 days after I was 17. Took my basic with the 101st Airborne down in Breckenridge, Kentucky in January 49 to April 49. After basic, I was shipped to Japan with the 1st Cavalry Division. Served in the 1st Cavalry Division in Japan from June of 49 until the Korean War broke out. When the Korean War broke out, our division, the 1st Cavalry, was loaded on LSTs and shipped to Japan, or Korea.
Okay.
We made our beachhead landing at Busan. And for the first year, went all the way from Busan to Seoul, Pyongyang, up to the Manchurian border.
You've been part of the Trout Warriors for how many years now?
Oh, I think about 6, 7, 8 years that Tim Cleaver started this program, I think in 1995 or so.
Okay.
And it's the most wonderful program there is for the older people. Like Ed Lane said, it's a blessing for us. It gives us a place to go, something to do, where we ain't sitting in the rocking chair rocking back and forth.
Sure, absolutely. We've got George saying he's going to catch the first and the most. We got Ed saying he's going to catch the first and most. Tell me who's going to catch the first and the most today.
I'll tell you who caught the first and the most. Last Friday they stocked the first stocking for the season.
Okay.
I caught the first one. Doug Markham was across the river from Percy Priest Dam.
Okay.
He got my picture catching the first one. I was the first one. I walked up to the parking lot with my limit, and the game warden was there. He said, "You got your limit, didn't you?" I said, "You know it, and I ain't violating either."
Well, folks, smiles and laughter, it's good for the heart and soul. And just ask these men. And in a moment, we'll be back to meet the rest of the Trout Warriors. But right now, it's time to hear from the voice of Fishin' Affliction, Mr. Matthew Gillen, as he tells us about the weekly Team Fishin' Affliction special from Clark Marine.
Here is a 2006 Triton 21 XHP with a Mercury 225 Pro XS engine, Lowrance 520C color GPS in console, Motor Guide TR82. This is loaded up with extras and ready to go. Call now for special pricing or cruise on in and see Stewart and the award-winning team at Clark Marine Sales, Paytonsville Road, exit 61 off I-65, Franklin, Tennessee. And now let's go see what Miss Vic's got cooking this week.
In the Skillet with Chef Vicki Porter is brought to you by Cleepy.com, turning your precious memories into video treasures.
Welcome to In the Skillet. I'm Vicki Porter and I have a yummy recipe for you, and it's for balsamic roasted red potatoes. And now for the ingredients. You will need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 pounds of red potatoes quartered, 1 tablespoon of minced onions, 6 garlic cloves minced, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes, 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, and salt and pepper to taste. After heating your oil in a large skillet, add your potatoes, your onions, and your garlic and toss to combine. Next, add your parsley, your thyme, and your nutmeg, and get this all mixed together for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now pour your potatoes into a greased baking dish. Now we're going to bake this in the oven at 400 for 25 to 30 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, add our balsamic vinegar, and put it back in the oven for 5 more minutes. After it's finished cooking, you can sit down and enjoy these yummy balsamic roasted red potatoes. You can find this recipe at FishinAffliction.com. I'm Vicki Porter. Tune in next week to see what's cooking in the skillet.
I am Strike King.
I am Strike King. I am Strike King.
I am Strike King. I am Strike King.
I am Strike King.
I am Strike King.
I am Strike King.
I am Strike King.
I am Strike King.
Hey, I know a lot of you look for places where you can go sighting your rifles. Listen, the good news is there's a bunch of places in Tennessee that are public. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency owns a number of shooting ranges across the state. You just got to go to the guide and find the information, or go to tnwildlife.org because it's listed out there too. A few dollars to hunt, doesn't cost very much, but some of the ranges are just outstanding, state-of-the-art, and provide everything from pistol to long-range shooting to even clay target. tnwildlife.org. See you next week, right here on Fishin' Affliction.
For hunters only. Brought to you by Fishin' Affliction. For those who've got it bad, both on the water and in the woods.
Well, Fish, we've been doing this a pretty good while.
Oh yeah, a long time, probably close to 10 years, I'd say.
You know, that's just the passion that we have to be in the outdoors and doing things like this. And Fish, you're just eat up with it, and you'd be going no matter what.
Yeah, it don't matter if there's not a season open, I'm going to be out trying to film something.
You know, folks, that is such a blessing to spend time in God's great outdoors, either fishing or hunting or whatever it might be that you enjoy with somebody that you enjoy. In our case, we're blessed to be able to do so, especially during hunting season. And this particular footage behind us, this was a deer hunt that we were on.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had plenty of opportunity to take animals, and we didn't.
Oh, yeah, it's just a blast being out there.
And getting great footage, and you know, and just and having the reflection of spending that time. Something we were able to do on this particular trip was 2 different camera angles of the same animals, which we'd never been able to do.
Yeah.
Just so neat. And folks, from Fishin Affliction, we just hope that you're blessed with these opportunities to spend some time in the God's great outdoors with somebody that you enjoy and do a lot of. And now back to
Fishin Affliction.
Welcome back to Fishin Affliction, and this segment of the show is brought to you by US Reel, when performance means everything. Eris Rods, don't follow, lead. Cigar Line, always the best. Mustad ULTRAPOINT hooks, stays sharper longer. Onyx Life Jackets, keeping you there. Fraybill, trusted gear since 1938. Blakemore's Real Magic, the name says it all. Deca Gel batteries, Stay in Charge battery charging systems, rugged electronic mounts provided by Ram Mounts, Lowrance Electronics by bbgmarine.com, and tournament wear. Look great, feel great, do great. Gary, tell me a little bit about what you've done in the United States military and our services.
Okay, I was in Vietnam in 1966 and 67 in the early parts, not the real early part, but the middle part of Vietnam. I was with the 1st Cavalry Division. I was a paratrooper. Like Mr. Lane, we'd get together and shoot the fat sometimes.
How is it to get together with that generation?
Oh, man, I'm telling you. As a Trout Warrior, I fish with them, but I'm kind of a Johnny-come-lately.
You just tell me, yeah.
I'm only been with them 3 years.
Okay.
And
not making the trip today?
No, I'm not making the trip today. I've got some honeydews I got to do at home.
Some things of importance.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And spending time with these men here that have done what they've done, and of course what you have done too. What a great opportunity. You know, these opportunities are few and far between,
right,
for American veterans of any sorts.
And the camaraderie is just excellent. Mr. George kind of took me under his wing when I first started fishing with him, and he was showing me how to do it. Mr. Lane was too, showing me how to trout fish. I never trout fished before in my life. They made a trout fisherman out of me, and it got my blood, and I've got rods and reels and stuff that, man, it would furnish to me.
Mark, the bait shop is an iconic place in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
It's been here long.
It sure has, and you've been owning it now for how many years now?
Going on 5.
Going on 5. Yeah. And it's been great because a lot of your ideas was to kind of make a community place for exactly the type of thing that's occurring today, where people come and meet, and will hang out for a little while and do their thing, and then go catch some fish. And today, these men in particular, how long have these men been coming here, regardless of them chasing trout?
Oh, Lordy, I've known Ned all my life. And his brother, John, I've known him for probably 15 years. George, about 5. And Jerry, of course, he's lockmaster at the dam. I've known him for years. And all of them understate what they've done.
Oh, absolutely. And
they don't come out in the public and talk, but sitting with them down here, I've heard their war stories, and I know
absolutely
what they've done.
Yeah.
And you just can't say enough for them.
Sure. And when we get to talking about doing this today, the focus is, I wanted to make sure that we talked about them and the people can be, because the activity of catching trout is a great thing, and we're going to focus a little bit on that also. But it is you said it correctly, it is understated. When you hear them talk, it's an understated moment.
Yes.
But what a great opportunity for them to come. How many times of the week are they here regardless?
Oh, they're daily. Daily. We don't, if one doesn't show up, somebody goes to the house.
What time is showtime in the morning time? 6:30?
Oh, it starts about 6:30, and if the whole crew isn't here by 9, somebody goes.
Somebody go gets them.
Yeah.
It's just a big brotherly love, a big opportunity for them.
Well, generations have come through here. I've seen kids, when I first started working here, kids, you know, that were little.
Right.
And now they're bringing their children in.
Isn't that something?
And it's just from generation to generation.
And there's a lot that goes on here at the bait shop too. We were talking a little bit earlier about this being here all the time and activities, but there's pickings and eatings and all the time, and have already told people on the front end to make sure they get on down to the bait shop and check in to see what's going on when something's going to be happening. Come down and meet the people that are here, because there's some unbelievable people to meet, like the Ed Lanes and the Johns and just everybody that's done something.
History here.
You sure can. Now, let me ask you one last question. Two more questions. Right. Number one, there's never a big fish stories told down here, is there?
There's not a lie ever told at the bait shop.
I didn't think so.
This is a truthful place here.
If you had to put your 5-cent bet today on who's going to catch the first and the most,
I ain't touching that one, Dan.
You ready to catch him? Well, folks, I hope you're enjoying this highly requested episode of the Trout Warriors, these true American heroes. And folks, right now we've got a very exciting and very important announcement to tell all the fans of Fishin' Affliction TV. And here is the voice of Fishin' Affliction, Mr. Matthew Gillen, to share some great news with you.
Thank you, Dan. We've enjoyed a wonderful time bringing Fishin' Affliction TV to you each week on Ion and Pax Television. And we thank you for watching. Fishin' Affliction is moving to a new television home and a new time slot coming up very soon. So be with us next week. I'll have more details about our premiere show.
Well, folks, everybody here at Fishin' Affliction is excited about our new move, and we are extremely grateful to Ion TV for all that they have done throughout the years for both Fishin' Affliction and for the other shows that they've been involved with. And with that said, we've still got several episodes right here on Ion TV, so make sure you tune into Fishin' Affliction next week, and you'll hear a Trout Warrior say. But would you like to go on record on who's going to catch the first one and the most today?
I wouldn't say, because that George is lucky and so is he.
This week's Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend is Tiny and Bella. And thanks for being our Facebook friend. For your chance to join in the fun and become an official Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend, simply like us on Facebook. And be sure to write a comment on our wall. As always, a big thank you to all of our national and local sponsors for providing us with the most advanced technology and highest quality products and services. Be sure to visit each of our partners online through the sponsor links page on our official website at FishinAffliction.com. And this is your old pal Matthew Gillen, the voice of Fishin' Affliction TV, hoping that you'll tune in next week, because there's no doubt that Dan and the big dog got it bad. They've got Fishin' Affliction for those who got it bad.
People don't know, but he's saying to talk to you. Listen.
I love Fishin' Affliction. Yes, I do.
And he's saying,
don't throw them Strike King baits around me no more.